Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully these log properties aren't too difficult for you. I'm going to go over the page 387, 38 through 58 even. Hopefully, if you are confused a little bit on this, if you watch this, this will clear up any confusion that you might be having. I know these log properties can be very tricky, and we spend actually a good bit of time if we were in day school, me letting you guys have time in class to work on these because these properties are tricky. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I will do my best to help you with your confusion. So let's get started. So number 38, well, let me back up. It says in exercises 37 through 58, it says use the properties of logarithms to expand the expression as a sum, difference, and or constant multiple of logarithms. So they're just asking us to expand it. We're really not solving. We're not really making these expressions even easier to understand. We're just practicing using the log properties to write them in a different way. So starting with number 38. 38 is log base 3 of 10z. The property that we're going to use here is going to be the product property because we have a product, 10 times z. And so the product property tells us that we can split this into two logs and we can add them together. And so you end up with log base 3 of 10 plus log base 3 of z. Notice that when we do split it, the base of the log goes with both of the split logs. Now, number 40 is log base 10 of y over 2. This one is going to use the quotient property, which says that if we have a log of a quotient, we can split those up. Now, also, it says log base 10 in the book. You do not need to write the 10. The 10, if there's nothing written there, it is understood to be 10. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to write log of y, and then it's subtraction log of 2, just like that. There's number 40. Number 42 is log base 6 of 1 over z to the third. This, once again, is the quotient property. So we will have log base 6 of 1 minus log base 6 of z to the third. Now, we got to go one more step further, though, and utilize the power property in the second log. And so the first one still stays the same, log base 6 of 1 minus, but then it becomes 3 log base 6 of z. So the 3, which is the power on z, comes down in front of the log and multiplies it. Number 44 is natural log of the cube root of t. So, helpful hint that I had stated in one of the older lectures a couple days ago is anytime you have a square root, you need to, or cube root or a fourth root, it needs to be rewritten as a power. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. We're going to rewrite this so it's natural log of t to the 1/3 power. Now, seeing the 1/3 power, we can utilize the power property and write it as 1/3 natural log of t. And that's the final answer for 44. 46, you have log of 4x squared y. This is a product, but there are multiple things in the product. Therefore, we're going to have multiple sums. So we're going to have log of 4 plus log of x squared plus log of y. We do need to use the power property because of the second log. So the log of 4 stays the same, plus 2 log x plus log y. And there's our final answer. Number 48 is natural log of the quantity x squared minus 1 over x to the third. And x has to be greater than 1, which is just a restriction we got to keep for our expression as we expand it. We're going to utilize the quotient property first, so we're going to have natural log of x squared minus 1 minus natural log of x to the third. Then we're going to utilize the power property, but we are only going to utilize the power property in the second expression right now, because here, whether you realize it or not, x squared minus 1 is a difference of two perfect squares. Sorry, it's not a difference of two perfect squares. That's wrong. But it can be factored into a product. So this is going to be natural log of x plus 1, x minus 1. This would have brackets around it. And then minus 3 natural log of x. Now from there, this expression right here, this is a natural log of a product again. So this can be further split up into natural log of x plus 1 plus natural log of x minus 1 minus 3 natural log of x. There is our final expression for 48. That was a tricky one. Moving on to number 50. 50 is natural log of 6 over the square root of x squared plus 1. First thing we're going to do, rewrite it so, actually not the first thing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to split it up using the quotient property. So we're going to have natural log of 6 minus natural log of, and I'm going to combine this where I said before, if you have a square root, cube root, whatnot, make it a power. So the square root becomes the 1/2 power. From there, that 1/2 can come down because of the power property, and you can have 1/2 natural log of x squared plus 1. X squared plus 1 will not factor. You also can't use the power property for the power on x squared because the 1 is not being squared. And so that is as far as number 50 can be split up. 52 is natural log of the square root of x squared over y to the third. And I apologize for my writing, guys. Not sure if I mentioned this before, but I managed to, or one of my kids lost my stylus. So I'm trying to write with my finger, and it is pretty difficult on this iPad. So in this case, the first thing we're going to do is we are actually going to rewrite the expression. So it's x squared over y to the third, and then we're going to make this a power, which is 1/2. We're going to utilize the power property and put the 1/2 in front of the natural log. Then we're going to utilize the quotient property. Keep in mind, though, the 1/2 that's out in front of the natural log, when we split this using the quotient property, that 1/2 has to apply to both of the natural logs. So we're going to end up with 1/2 natural log of x squared minus 1/2 natural log of y to the third. And now, one more time, we're going to utilize the power property, and this square on the x is going to come out front, and it's going to multiply the 1/2. So 1/2 times 2 is 1, so it actually goes away. On the right-hand part of the expression, we have this 3 that's on the y. The power property allows us to bring that down. It's going to multiply the 1/2, and we end up with 3/2 natural log of y. There's your final expression. Natural log of x minus 3/2 natural log of y. Number 54 is log base 2 of x to the fourth, and then we have the square root of y over z to the third. So first thing is we have a product. X to the fourth is multiplying the y over z to the third. So we can split this up using the product property. We can also rewrite the square root as a 1/2 power. So I'm going to do that in one step. So we're going to have log base 2 of x to the fourth plus log base 2 of y over z to the third to the 1/2 power. And that is not the 1/2 power. I apologize. That is a 4th root. Therefore, that should be... Never mind. What am I talking about? It is the 1/2 power. I got the 4th mixed up with the 4th power on the x. So there we go. So we have log base 2 of x to the 4th plus log base 2 of y over z to the 3rd to the 1/2 power. From there, we're going to utilize the power property on the first one. So we're going to have 4 log base 2 of x. Now this one's a quotient and it still has to be split, but before we can split it, we got to put the 1/2 down in front of the log base 2 of y over z to the 3rd. And now we're going to split this part because we're still logging a quotient, so we're going to use the quotient property. So 4 log base 2 of x plus 1/2 log base 2 of y minus 1/2 log base 2 of z to the 3rd. And the last thing to do is to get rid of that z to the 3rd. That 3rd power needs to come down and go in front of the log, multiply the 1/2 that's already there. So our final answer is going to be 4 log base 2 of x plus 1/2 log base 2 of y minus 3 over 2 log base 2 of z. That's a long one. All right, 2 more to go, guys. Number 56. 56 is log base 10 of x y to the 4th over z to the 5th. We're going to utilize the quotient property first. I am not going to keep writing log base 10. When there is no base written, it is understood to be base 10 when it's a log. So it is log x y to the 4th minus log z to the 5th. This first expression is a product, therefore that can be split up into log of x plus log of y to the 4th minus log z to the 5th. And now we're going to utilize the power property for the second and the third expression. So it's log of x plus 4 log of y minus 5 log of z. There's your final answer. Last one, number 58, is natural log of the square root of x squared times the quantity x plus 2. Rewrite the square root as a power, and you will need brackets here, to the 1/2. Power property allows us to bring that in front of the natural log. Now we need to split that up using the product property. And lastly, we need to use the power property in this first expression to move the 2 down front. 2 times 1/2 is 1, so we don't need to write that. We just write natural log of x plus 1/2 natural log x plus 2. And there you go, guys. There's all the problems.